My name is Licky Boland, reporting exclusively here for EPWPerth.com. We're in Queen's Park, Western Australia, home of WA versus Victoria, a big explosive pro wrestling show, and it was a huge night of action. We kicked it all off with Jay Taylor up against Tyler Jacobs.
If you beat JT tonight, I will add you to the Invitational Tournament at Rio Open. But if you lose, you retire from explosive pro wrestling forever.
And not only that, but he had to win in 10 minutes. So Tyler Jacobs really had his work cut out for him. And this match was back and forth, full-paced action. It took him 9 minutes and 43 seconds, but Tyler Jacobs managed to sneak a victory, albeit with his feet on the ropes. It was 1, 2, 3 for Tyler Jacobs, and he is in this year's Invitational Tournament. Next up in action, saw Ferguson block one-on-one with AZ Vergara, and once again, a lot on the line. This time, if AZ Vergara didn't defeat Ferguson block, then he could say bye-bye to his valet, Amber.
Tonight is your one and only final chance. If you want this, then it's time to harden up.
Now, unfortunately for AZ Vergara, Ferguson block got the better of him, nailed a big skelly driver, and picked up the victory. So, AZ Vergara, as Pinks once said, it's you in your hand tonight. Then, it was a three-way elimination for the Rising Star Cup. Gorgeous Gary Schmidt, Alex Kingston from Blitz Team, and the shooter, Gavin McGavin. This matchup, very fast-paced, as we've come to expect from the Rising Star Cup. But it was Gary Schmidt who scored the first pinfall, eliminating Gavin McGavin. So it all came down to just Alex Kingston and Gary Schmidt. Alex Kingston nailed a massive frog splash and picked up the 1, 2, 3 and became the third ever winner of EPW's Rising Star Cup. Congratulations, Alex Kingston. Next up, well, was something a little bit disturbing. I brought out to the ring a friend of mine, Jose Del Santo, so we could talk about the trouble he's been having with the Blackest Hour. However, Rick Sanders came out before I could get Jose out, and then, to the disgust of the crowd, Richter and Devlin Reeves brought out a bloodied and beaten Jose Del Santo to display for all. But just as it looked like they're about to put Jose out once and for all, outcharged Jamie Dura and Bobby Marshall, and the match was underway. And what a match it was. But it was, of course, not one but two scissor kicks at the end of the day that put Rick Sanders down and earned Bobby Marshall and Jamie Dura the victory. Richter then came out at the end of the match attacking Bobby Marshall once again, but it was Bobby Marshall who had the final say.
We settle this like men. Good on! Last man standing.
On on November 7 at the Craigie Leisure Centre will be Richter putting the gold on the line against Bobby Marshall in a last man standing matchup. That one is going to be huge, and it's going to be the best shot Bobby Marshall's had of getting that gold back around his waist. Then it was time for some six-man tag team action as Team All-Star with Brad West, Sebastian Sander, and Michael Molione took on the team of Jarrett Matthews, Dan Moore, and Chase Griffin. This was a very exciting matchup. Lots of fast-paced action as we've come to expect from Dan Moore and Chase Griffin. But in the end, we saw Dan Moore, well, rocking the boat a little bit. Dan Moore hit a top rope move, but as Chase Griffin went to go off the top, Dan Moore shook the ropes in victory, sending him crashing down. And although Dan Moore scored the pinfall victory, I've got to tell you, there's a little bit of tension between the former EPW Tag Team Champions, Chase Griffin and Dan Moore. Then in action, it was James Edwards taking on Chris Weiss. And in Chris Weiss's corner, Johnny Wimbledon. Now, Johnny Wimbledon scored up a victory over James Edwards with the help of Chris Weiss, so James was out for revenge. However, once again, the numbers game was against him, and with the assistance of Johnny Wimbledon, Chris Weiss nailed a massive tombstone piledriver and picked up the victory. Then came time for our main event. The EPW Tag Team titles were on the line as Slex and Carlo Cannon took on Team WA, Davis Storm and Jimmy Payne. The fans were rowdy as they toilet papered the Victorians at the beginning of the match and strongly got behind Davis Storm and Jimmy Payne. Everything was going Davis Storm and Jimmy Payne's way until Slex and Carlo tried to intentionally get themselves disqualified. With that, Carlo and Slex wrapped a chair around the head of Jimmy Payne. The EPW Board of Directors would have nothing more of that and made the match no disqualification. Davis Storm through the announcer's table and then continued to punish the bloodied and beaten Davis Storm and Jimmy Payne. Eventually, they got it down to a 2-on-1 scenario where they locked Davis Storm in a Boston Crab submission, and unfortunately, it got the better of Davis Storm, and he had no choice but to tap out. However, while Slex and Carlo Cannon did walk away with the EPW Tag Team titles, that is not the end of that saga, because at Reawakening 8, come November 7 at the Craigie Leisure Centre, it will be Team WA against the Victorians, Slex and Carlo Cannon, only this time it's gonna be a ladder match. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Reawakening 8 may just be the biggest event in explosive pro wrestling history. You have to get your tickets now. Log on to epwperth.com and find out how you can be there November 7. We've also got another big show coming up for Telethon. That's happening at the beginning of October. It's going to be the Charity Bash, Saturday the 3rd of October at the Cyril Jackson Rec Centre on Fisher Street in Bassendean. So many great shows coming up. I hope to see you there. If not, let me tell you, you're missing out on some of the best wrestling action you'll ever see live. My name's Lukey Boland, reporting for EPWPerth.com. I hope to see you at the next Explosive Pro Wrestling show.